What is the funniest joke you know by heart?
There's this train engineer, right? And one day he's overseeing the train when due to a lapse in judgment there's an accident and 3 people are killed. Because of the strict rules of the country, this negligence means a death sentence. Before he's given the electric chair he's offered a last meal and he has a banana. So they try to execute him but it doesn't work. That is seen as a pardon from God, so they let him go and he gets his old job back. A few months later, he oversees another accident. So he's sentenced to death again and offered a last meal. This time he asks for 2 bananas. Again the chair fails, and again he goes free. After the 3rd train accident, the engineer is sentenced to death again, but this time the executioner says, "I'm not giving you any bananas this time because they're making you survive this." The engineer is brought to the chair without a meal, and they turn it on, but again nothing happens. The executioner turns to him and says, "How did you survive? You didn't eat any bananas," to which he replies, "The bananas had nothing to do with it. I'm just a terrible conductor."
A man walks into a bar, sits down and orders a beer. Once he's finished, he orders another. Then another, and another. After the 5th, the bartender finally asks, "You celebrating or something?" To which the man replies, "My first blowjob." The bartender remarks, "Hey, way to go. Let me get you another round on the house." Rejecting the offer, the man says, "No thanks. If 5 beers won't get the taste out of my mouth, nothing will."
Teenage boy comes home from school one day. Dad asks him, "How was school today, son?" Kid answers proudly, "I had my first blowjob today, Dad." Father is so proud. "Well, what did you think?" Kid says, "Tasted terrible."
Dad comes home from work and asks his son how school was today. The son said, "Fine, I had S*X at school today." The dad is so happy and proud. But he tells his son not to tell his mom because she may not approve. So the next day the dad hurries home to ask his son how school went today. The son just says fine. The dad asks is he had S*X at school today, and the son says no. The dad asks why not. The son says because my butt still hurts from yesterday.
What's the difference between a lobster with breast implants and a bus stop? One's a busty crustacean and the other is a crusty bus station.
What's the difference between a Hoover and a Harley? The position of the dirtbag.
A man is driving down the road and breaks down near a monastery. He goes to the monastery, knocks on the door, and says, "My car broke down. Do you think I could stay the night?" The monks graciously accept him, feed him dinner, even fix his car. As the man tries to fall asleep, he hears a very strange sound. The next morning, he asks the monks what the sound was, but they say, "We can't tell you. You're not a monk." The man is disappointed but thanks them anyway and goes about his merry way. Some years later, the same man breaks down in front of the same monastery. The monks again accept him, feed him, and again fix his car. That night, he hears the same strange noise that he had heard years earlier. The next morning, he asks what it is, but the monks reply, "We can't tell you. You're not a monk." The man says, all right. I'm dying to know. If the only way I can find out what that sound was is to become a monk, how do I become a monk?" The monks reply, "You must travel the earth and tell us how many blades of grass there are and the exact number of sand pebbles. When you find these numbers, you will become a monk." The man sets about his task. Some 54 years later, he returns and knocks on the door of the monastery. He says, "I have traveled the earth and have found what you have asked for. There are 145,236,284,232 blades of grass and 231,281,219,999,129,382 sand pebbles on the earth. The monks reply, "Congratulations. You are now a monk. We shall now show you the way to the sound." The monks lead the man to a wooden door where the head monk says, "The sound is right behind that door." The man reaches for the knob, but the door is locked. He says, "Real funny. May I have the key?" The monks give him the key, and he opens the door. Behind the wooden door is another door made of stone. The man demands the key to the stone door. The monks give him the key, and he opens it, only to find a door made of ruby. He demands another key from the monks, who provide it. Behind that door is another door, this one made of sapphire, and so it went until the man had gone through doors of emerald, silver, topaz, and amethyst. Finally, the monks say, "This is the last key to the last door." The man is relieved to know that he has finally reached to the end. He unlocks the door, turns the knob, and behind that door he is amazed to find the source of that strange sound. But he can't tell you what it is because you're not a monk.
What did the fish say when it swam into a wall? Damn.
Anytime my math teacher, who I was best friends with, would hold his higher education against me, I would explain to the whole class, "Well, you may have a major in math, but I have a minor in bed." Got in big trouble at first, but then it just became a long-standing joke.
One day the CEO of the Belgian, Stella Artois Brewery, the Amstel Brewery, Netherlands, and the Heineken Brewery, Netherlands, go out for a lunch meeting. The waiter asks what they would like to drink. The Amstel's CEO orders an Amstel. The Heineken orders a Heineken. But the Stella Artois CEO orders a mineral water. When the two other CEOs ask him why he does not order a Stella, he says, "I'm not going to be the only one drinking beer."
So there's this blind man, right? He was feeling his way down the street with this stick, right? He walks past this fish market, takes a deep whiff, then he says, "Sniff, who? Good morning, ladies."
Two men walk into a bar. Man number one buys an H2O, then the other man says, "I'll have an H2O too." But then man number two dies. Okay, so here is like the explanation to the joke. H2O is water and 2 is, well, also 2. Instead of H2O, he is given H2O2, hydrogen peroxide. That is why he dies.
A man was waiting for his wife to give birth. The doctor came and informed the dad that his son was born without a torso, arms, or legs. The son was just a head. But the dad loved his son and raised him as well as he could. 19 years later, the son was old enough for his first drink. The dad took him to a bar, tearfully told him he was proud of him, and ordered the biggest, strongest drink for his boy. With all the bar patrons looking on curiously, the boy took his first sip of alcohol. Swoop! A torso popped out. The bar was dead silent, then burst into a whoop of joy. The father, shocked, begged his son to drink again. The patrons chanted, "Take another drink! Take another drink!" The bartender shook his head in dismay. Swoop! 2 arms popped out. The bar went wild. The father, crying and wailing, begged his son to drink again. The patrons chanted, "Take another drink! Take another drink!" But the bartender ignored the whole affair. By this time, the boy was getting tipsy. With his new hand, he reached down, grabbed the drink, and guzzled the last of it. Swoop! 2 legs popped out. The bar was in chaos. The father wept with joy. The boy stood up on his new legs. He stumbled to the left. He stumbled to the right. Then he stumbled through the front door and into the street, where a truck ran him over. The bar fell silent. The father moaned with grief. The bartender merely sighed and said he should have quit while he was ahead.
A
monkey was sitting in a tree smoking weed when a lizard walks up and says, "Hey monkey, what are you doing?" The monkey answers, "Smoking a joint. Want some?" So the lizard climbs up and the two get high. After a while, the lizard says he is cotton-mouthed and excuses himself to a nearby river to have a drink. But the lizard, stoned, leans over too far and falls in. Just then, a crocodile swims by and decides to rescue him. When they get onto dry land, the crocodile asks, "What's wrong with you, lizard?" The lizard tells him that he was smoking weed with a monkey, and he got too stoned and fell in while taking a drink. The crocodile decided he has to go see this for himself, so he goes looking for the monkey. After a short walk, the crocodile looks up and sees the monkey and says, "Hey, you." The monkey looks down and says, "What the hell, dude? How much water did you drink?"
A man asks his neighbor, "Hey, should I say I don't know or I'm not sure?" The neighbor responds, "I don't know." The man then says, "How do you not know, dumbass?"
A pirate walks into a bar with a shipwheel in his pants. The bartender says, you know you have a shipwheel stuck in your pants?" Pirate says, "It's been driving me nuts. Credit to my mom for this one."